Have you ever watched a magician use a real coin to distract you while slipping a fake card right past your eyes?
Oh, yeah, the classic misdirection.
Right. Well, today we are looking at a massive geopolitical magic trick. We're doing a deep dive into that viral video by the Pindex Creator Network.
Yeah, the one claiming World War III is basically just this engineered plot to cancel the 2026 U.S. elections.
Exactly. So our mission today is to crack open a really comprehensive research report to separate the verifiable facts from, the cinematic hyperbole. Okay, let's unpack this.
Because the scale of this trick is massive. I mean, we are looking at how modern media weaponizes reality to sell an apocalypse.
And the trick starts with, well, the ultimate soothing voice. The video is narrated by Stephen Fry, or rather an unauthorized AI clone of him.
Right, which is basically a digital Trojan horse.
Yeah. Using that authoritative British tone lets them sneak highly speculative conclusions right past your natural skepticism.
It creates instant cognitive trust. But, what makes this video so persuasive is that the first claim it drops from that Trojan horse is actually completely true.
Wait, really? This stuff about structural corruption?
Yeah, the report verifies it. A sovereign wealth fund from Abu Dhabi called MGX injected $2 billion into a presidential family crypto venture.
Which, wouldn't mean much on its own, except for what happened just 2 weeks later. The administration officially approved the export of highly restricted AI chips to the UAE.
Right, and they explicitly overrode long-standing objections from the national security apparatus to do that.
So how does a massive crypto investment suddenly dictate foreign policy?
By turning ideology into a simple transaction, the administration signaled that national security protocols are, basically negotiable if the price is right.
Wow. And that shift toward transactional power didn't stop at the border, did it?
No, not at all. The report tracks how those same mechanics were immediately applied domestically, starting with a $2 billion rebranding of the Pentagon to the Department of War.
Okay, wait. A $2 billion rebrand? I feel like they could have just bought a really aggressive domain name for $20. Like, is scraping defense off the walls of the Pentagon actually dangerous? Or is it just a very expensive theatrical flex?
It sounds theatrical, but what's fascinating here is that symbolic rhetoric paves the way for legal reality. Changing the name shifts the entire operational mandate from protection to aggression.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the report connects this militarized posturing directly to the bypassing of constitutional guardrails. We saw this manifest in the tragic ICE killings of 2 U.S. citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
Right, during domestic surges that completely lacked traditional oversight. So they didn't just consolidate power physically, they tried to consolidate it digitally too. Which brings us to the AI firm Anthropic.
Yes, the administration blacklisted them.
Because Anthropic categorically refused to alter their code, right? They wouldn't let the new Department of War use their models for mass domestic surveillance.
Or autonomous weapons, exactly. It's a landmark collision between AI ethics and state power. But, the Pindex video scales this real domestic militarization up to an international conflict.
Because it accurately cites Operation Epic Fury, that devastating 40-day U.S. and Israeli war against Iran.
Right, which caused staggering global economic damage. But this is where the video takes a massive speculative leap.
Yeah, it claims this entire civilization-altering war was orchestrated purely as a diversion to cancel the 2026 U.S. midterms.
Which is quite the claim.
It's wild how easily we buy into these massive plots. Why do we immediately jump to, a comic book villain orchestrating a global war rather than just accepting that foreign policy is messy?
Because we crave simplicity in the face of chaos. The report calls this the teleological fallacy.
The teleological fallacy.
Yeah, so the video assumes that because the war acts as a distraction, it must have been created solely for that purpose.
Ah, I see.
It ignores decades of geopolitical history and profound intelligence failures, framing a massive global crisis as just a localized American electoral stunt.
Wait, help me understand the leap here, though. If there are no tanks in the streets shutting down polling places, how is the election actually under threat, according to the report?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the threat is bureaucratic, democratic backsliding. The threat isn't cinematic martial law.
So it's voter roll purges and extreme gerrymandering.
And executive interference with voting equipment, exactly. Modern authoritarianism relies on manipulating the legal rules of the game.
Right. It's like changing the locks on a building one door at a time. It's not an explosive demolition. It's administrative lockout.
Yes, and fatalistic media, like the Pindex video, completely ignores the highly active reality of democratic resistance.
Right. It paints Americans as defeated. But the report highlights the No Kings movement. We're talking 8 to 9 million Americans actively marching and protesting this authoritarian overreach.
Exactly. The system is under massive stress, but the citizenry is fiercely engaged.
So why does all this matter to you listening? Because recognizing the difference between a bureaucratic erosion of norms and an apocalyptic conspiracy prevents you from falling into political apathy.
Absolutely. You don't have to wait for a movie villain plot to unfold to see the real issues right in front of you.
Right. But I do want to leave you with this to chew on. If AI and synthetic media can now perfectly blend verified government actions with terrifying fictions.
Wrapping it all up in a trusted digital Trojan horse.
Exactly. How will we be able to independently verify the authenticity of actual whistleblower leaks in the future? Something to think about the next time a perfectly polished piece of outrage crosses your screen.